Hey everybody, and welcome to Ricky's Rockin' Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at the second part of the Batman TMNT Omnibus. And the artwork here is by Freddie Williams II, Kevin Eastman, and that's the strongest part of this whole omnibus. The artwork is phenomenal. Right here in this cover, we have this looming threat of Bane. He's the main antagonist for the second series, entitled The Night in New York. And that's as in the Dark Knight. So Batman is actually going to be going into the world of the Ninja Turtles in this one. So it's kind of a flip from the first story. And right away we start with some really cool action. Donnie has developed some cool flying gadgets for the Turtles, and they're pursuing some Foot Clan in the sewers. And starting off in the story, there's a power vacuum right now because Shredder's in prison, and we have Shredder's daughter here, and she's trying to climb her way up to gain the leadership role, but there's other ninjas that are trying to get that role that she has to fight. The Turtles come and break it up, but in the process, Donatello gets severely injured during a fight, and he feels like, well, we'll get into it when we see it here, but he starts to feel that he doesn't compare with his brothers when it comes to fighting. At the same time, in Gotham, I really like the contrast here. If you can notice, here this is the Ninja Turtles world, nice and colorful, and then over here we have Gotham, and Batman and Robin are on the trail of something suspicious going on. Back in the sewers, Donatello's nice and patched up, but he's feeling like he doesn't measure up like with his brothers, like I said, and it's something that's really bugging him. He's talking to Master Splinter about it. Master Splinter, of course, is very wise in saying that he has other gifts, but I just would like to say that the bow staff is the most versatile weapon out of all the Turtles' weapons. So Donatello definitely has the capability, and he definitely has a path forward to being the greatest of the fighters, but his strength is of course his intellect. So we're going back here with Batman and Robin, and they discover that there's something going on in the Lazarus pit. Over here we have Donnie, and he's going back to the machine from the first series, and it's kind of relatable, when you're with your family and they give you good advice, but sometimes you need to hear it from someone else, and that's kind of what's happening here. We got to remember that they're teenagers. He looks up to Batman, so he's gonna cross worlds to find him. So Batman and Robin discover that Bane is in a new Lazarus pit that's kind of right under him, basically under Gotham. I think under the Batcave too. I can't remember quite well, but anyways, Donatello's shenanigans end up switching him and Bane. So Bane ends up in the world of the Ninja Turtles, and Donnie in the world of Batman. Batman seeking some advice from Ra's al Ghul, and right away Donnie is helping with a battle with Mr. Freeze, and this part's really fun because there's a lot of punny jokes. It's very Arnold Schwarzenegger. So with the help of Lucius, they're able to go back into Donnie's world. Where they see that that Bane is now joining the fray, and it seems like the Foot Clan is seeing him as the new leader. Sure enough, he's asking for people to kneel. Bebop and Rocksteady are officially in his clan now. So Donnie comes back with Batman, explains the situation, and the Turtles, they've been trying to fight against Bane and stuff and his people, but it's been really hard for them. Bane's really strong. Bane starts asserting more of his power, and he enlists Stockman to help him with his new Venom. We see the Turtles and Robin here are I want to say bonding, but Robin is really abrasive, and so is Raphael, so that's a cool little dynamic that they explore further. Batman is doing some reconnaissance with Leo and Splinter of what Bane is up to, and Batman explains a lot of what Bane is all about and what Venom is. Donnie's feeling super guilty at this point. And over here, the Raphael versus Robin fight. They're at each other's throats, but they both love to fight, and that's the way they bond. They do take it personally, though. Really cool splash page here. Here's where things start getting really messy. Here's the April and Casey are back home. They're still helping Donnie and the Turtles and Batman. And over here we have the first fight, and this is where the action starts getting like really intense and kinetic. And I don't know if it's like this with other printings, but I guess because of all the colors and all the ink that's been used here, that the pages are, I mean, they're pretty thin, and you could feel the weight of all the colors in the pages. It gets really kinetic and really dynamic as the fight goes on, and then you see how Bane has looked bigger than he's ever looked before, and the fight gets really intense, and Splinter gets severely hurt. And of course that adds to Donnie's guilt and feeling like he's not enough, of course. Batman and Robin, they kind of explain that they have an idea of how to help Splinter because he's on the brink of death, to be honest. And at this point, Donnie is at rock bottom, he feels like. And he thinks he needs to take the Venom in order to be stronger so that he can help defend his family. But here we have Batman kind of explaining what it is and why that's a really bad path to go down. And something he's done before, and he knows that that's not the way for this to go. At the same time, Shredder's daughter is, still trying to get that leadership. She's the lesser of two evils at this point when it comes to the Foot Clan and what's going on with them. Bane has taken control of New York, or he's really deep into the process of doing that, and he puts the mask, his visage, on the Statue of Liberty. And here we have Donnie. He of course, he's a teenager. We don't always make the best decisions at that age. He feels like he has no other choice, and he ends up enhancing himself, further mutating himself with that Venom. And he becomes a huge rage monster, which is really cool to see. So here we have the worst evil of the Foot Clan here. And they get roughed up by Donatello. This part is really cool. I mean, he lets him have it. So here we have Here we have Batman and Leo here to try to calm him down. But like I said, he's a monster now. We have some real bonding moments here between Raph and Robin when they calm down and they see that, you know, Splinter's in trouble and potentially Batman, who's Robin's father. And with the help of Casey and April, they have a machine that lets them go back to Batman's world where the Lazarus Pit is. A really cool monologue of Batman about what the people of Bane want to do to the world, what the venom does, how addictive it is, and all that, and kind of how this seduction of power is not the way. So, like, the story is developing. I think we're about the halfway point, but I really like this second part because in the first one you kind of introduced to the whole idea of Batman and the Ninja Turtles getting together, but here they already know each other, and so you have a lot of opportunity to go deeper into the characters. And I should say not everyone got to meet each other because Nightwing and Batgirl weren't in the first one, I believe. So they're over here in the corner. And I forgot to mention, there's this really cool part about Splinter getting into the Lazarus Pit because I believe it's Nightwing and Batgirl and Robin who tell Raph that it's very dangerous to be in the Lazarus Pit because you come back kind of mad as well. And here's Batman explaining how he respects him and impressed by Master Splinter for not, going crazy. But it kind of alludes very briefly in this panel here that there was some craziness going on with these man-bat things near the Lazarus Pit that were protecting the Lazarus Pit. But it's only briefly shown. You already know how badass Splinter is, so you could just imagine. All you need is this one panel to kind of show how it all went down. So I really like that part. I was hoping that Splinter would not be shown as like a madman or whatever. But he does momentarily. But it makes sense that he's able to calm down right away after all that. That's a really cool shot right here. This is probably one of the best pages in the whole book. It's just so cool how Bane is filling out the page. The artwork here is so impressive. It's actually even going into the second page. This huge arm. You get a little bit of gutter loss. Only a little bit though. Not a big deal. Very Dark Knight Rises here. He's always taking over cities and trying to bring them down. So the way that Batman and Leo are able to calm down Donnie is by presenting the problem that he needs to solve with his intellect, as far as like getting Bane and his army, who are all venomized, how to calm them down and how to take that power away from them, because they're just way too powerful at this point. And so Donnie comes down with this gas that he's able to come up with, and then this part's really cool because although the odds are stacked against them, Batman feels like there's one person who can help out, and that's Shredder, who makes his first appearance in this series in the end of this issue. So we're getting to the end here. They have their master plan. Donnie's back to normal, and it's just a crazy fight here at the end. This is awesome. Splinter, Batman, and Shredder all teamed up in this temporary alliance to get this huge Bane. Oh, and I love this. This was so cool. Very 90s, but it gets very vertical here. That was awesome. I love that. I really like that they did that. That was so fun. It's a nice way to change it up. And it's a kind of a turning of the tide in the battle as well. So it just fit in there so cool. It was really well executed, I should say. And we're getting closer to the defeat of Bane and his army. Incredible action. And there we are at the end. Donnie has learned his lesson at this point, and Batman kind of leaves some pointers. They call it the training protocol for all of his Robins, and he leaves it to Donnie and the Turtles. And so hopefully in the next series, they're better fighters. That'll be really cool to see. This is just my bookmark, but now we're leaving off for part 3. Thanks guys for watching, and please like and subscribe. That really helps out the channel.